Smugglers Run Warzones on the Nintendo Gamecube being played in a Nintendo Wii. This is a revisitation of a game that I used to own back when I owned my Gamecube. Sold that thing about a decade and a half ago. So I can buy I think I sold it so I can buy like a Wii or an Xbox 360. I don't even remember anymore. But one of the games I remember liking on this GameCube was Smugglers Run Warzones, which is I guess you could say it's like a vehicular exploration racing combat game, if that makes any sense. They never made any sequels to this, I want to say, in the PlayStation 360 era. I don't know why. Maybe it just stopped selling. Of course, if you're a Rockstar, you made a table tennis game at some point, and eventually you just became a Red Dead Redemption company, which is fine. I mean, they got Red Dead Revolver from Capcom, right? Like I don't even remember how that worked, but my video game history from the 2000s is kind of dicey, so I'm trying to get back into it. So I'm going to be playing a lot more PlayStation 2 and more PlayStation 2 games, more GameCube games, and if I can dig out my original Xbox, I'll play more of those. I got a component video cable set up here through my Nintendo Wii, which is how I'm going to be playing GameCube games for the foreseeable future. I'm not going to get a GameCube. If I could get my hands on an affordable Game Boy player, I would, but I can't. I can let me put it this way. I can get the Game Boy player, but I can't get the disc. I'm not trying to hack it. This isn't that kind of channel. But for now, we're going to be playing games on original hardware, and this kind of counts because I'm playing this game on a Wii, which is how I played most GameCube games in the late 2000s. I no longer have my GameCube controller, so I have an adapter that converts my Sony PlayStation 2 controller into a GameCube controller as well as a Xbox One controller if I need to. So dogs and cats living together. Sony and Nintendo making sweet love once again, like in the 1990s. But unfortunately, it's not an official controller. I have a third-party controller over here for the GameCube that I just picked up. It's an old school controller. The joystick on that thing is really slippery, which made this game more difficult than it would seem. So what I did is I plugged in this PlayStation 2 controller through the adapter to see if it controls any better. I think maybe the dead zone's a lot more reasonable. I don't know, but the car control is much more reasonable now. So I think I'll stick with this PlayStation 2 controller for the foreseeable future. It's a shame though. I did want to have like a legit GameCube controller just to see how it feels, but I think that joystick is just too slippery. Maybe is there like no dead zone? Maybe that's the problem that there's no dead zone. Now, if there's a game that lets me, that lets me modify the dead zone, great. But not every video game lets you do that. Especially not every GameCube game doesn't let you do that. I can confirm that, including this game, which doesn't let you do any of that. So I guess we'll set the table by doing the tutorial again. I actually still have my game card, my GameCube game card, my memory card right here, which includes my game save from way back in the day. Of course, I've been updating it. These tutorials are easy, so we'll just skip through these really quickly. I'm not going to spend much time on these. I'm not going to spend much time on these FMVs because they're terrible. As you probably can see this. The video quality on these things is god awful. Again, I'm recording this through a component video cable plugged into a SIG HDMI converter. So I'm converting this component video signal into an HDMI signal that I'm plugging into my J5 Create 4K UHD capture card, which has a pass through to my TV. It's a flat screen Best Buy TV. It's an Insignia model. Input latency is low. I'd say it's in the low 20s. I haven't measured it obviously, but the input latency on this TV is lower than the input latency on my capture device. So my laptop is about a few milliseconds delayed, which isn't a huge deal. I think I could play this game on my laptop. I'm not going to do that right now. But the input latency on this J5 Create device is not terrible. I could probably play a few like low impact games on it without a TV. But since I have a pass through, there's no reason for me to play it on a laptop. I can always hook it up to a TV with a lower input latency. So that's the point. But I mean, you can obviously see like this. Remember, the GameCube came out in the same era as the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 could basically play back DVD quality video. I tend to believe the GameCube could as well, but I don't know what. They probably wanted to lower the amount of data on the disc because you know how it is. I think these GameCube discs had what 1.5 gigabytes of data on them. They were for people who don't remember, GameCube discs were smaller than regular CDs. I'd say they were the size of a mini CD, if you all remember those. I'd say they were about a third of the size of a regular DVD. I'm not going to pull it out just to confirm, but they had compression on them, obviously. So they're compressing the data onto a disc that's about half the size of a DVD. Now, obviously, a DVD can hold, what, 4.5 gigabytes of data? So if you're a PlayStation 2 game, you can just, spit out a whole bunch of uncompressed DVD quality video without an issue. But if you're a GameCube, you got to compress it. You got to compress the data onto a disc that's smaller, that has less data than the PlayStation 2. So you're inevitably using some garbage, MPEG-2 converter. And by the way, it's like 480i at best. I got this thing outputting 480p, 480p progressive video, which is not something the average person would have had when this game came out, I would say. I was playing on a CRT back then, but I'm not bragging. This is just how we lived. Accelerate with the A button, brake with the B button, back up with the Z button. Remember, we're playing with a PlayStation 2 controller. So X is the accelerator, square is the brake, and I believe R1 or R2 is I think it's R2. For people who don't know, the GameCube controller was a mess. It's a freaking mess. The right stick was actually a camera control stick that wasn't fully analog, as I recall. That controller was a mess. God bless Nintendo for finally embracing the classic controller design, which I do have on my Wii. I do have a classic controller on this Wii. It was like a $15 controller. I'm thrilled. I was able to play Xenoblade Chronicles on it. But yeah, this is me just kind of flashbacking to the days when I could play GameCube games on a Wii. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for the GameCube because I was an adult when this system came out, and I don't remember loving it that much. When did I get a GameCube? I want to say I got a GameCube after buying a PlayStation 2. Ooh, I got a new best score. As I recall, the GameCube, like obviously I rented a bunch of GameCube games back in the 2000s, the early 2000s. I guess it's worth noting when the GameCube came out, it was basically Nintendo. Well, Nintendo was in a funk as far as their home console business was, because remember when the Super Nintendo came out, it sold extremely well, obviously in Japan, sold extremely well here. We're gonna call. I'm not. We'll talk about the console wars later. The 16-bit console wars, I think, were a wash. Uh, Out in Japan, the Mega Drive was kind of a bleh. It didn't never really achieved much. It sold decently, I guess. But outside of Japan, the Mega Drive was huge, especially in the United States. Challenged Nintendo for the top spot for several years. The more important issue is that after that, Nintendo went into the 3D era, the polygonal 3D era with the Nintendo 64 and Mario 64, while Sega went with the Saturn. Both consoles failed, honestly. The Nintendo 64 did fine, I guess, but it was not. It sold, I think, about a third as many copies as the Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo did. The PlayStation blew up. They blew everyone away back then when the PlayStation came out. It destroyed the GameCube. It destroyed the whoops. Went the wrong way. R1 to back up. It destroyed the GameCube and it destroyed the Nintendo 64 and the Saturn. So Nintendo said, you know what? Because remember, the other problem was that. Oh, it's right. I can do how do I do that? How do I do the spin? Yeah, hold R2 for a handbrake turn. There you go. 180. You can do a drift, right? That's how you drift in this game. Okay, so we got it. As you can see by these stellar 3D graphics. This is the era of the early 2000s when the graphics started getting smoother. Like the PlayStation 2 era was okay. The models weren't particularly detailed, but they moved at 60 frames a second. Interlaced usually, but we'll talk about that later. So by the time the PlayStation 2 came out in 2000, Nintendo was like, okay, we're gonna try and leapfrog them in terms of visuals. So I would argue that we're gonna skip this mission because it's literally just following a car. Although I guess I can quit it. Well, I'll do this to explain the rest. We'll skip out of this mission if we can, because there's an arrow on our radar that tells us which way to go, which is how I knew to make that 180-degree turn in the last mission, because there's an arrow pointing in the direction of the objective. So I'll show you the arrow. See that arrow at the top of the screen in the center? It's pointing in the direction of our objective. So when that arrow is red, the game's also telling you, hey, it means there's a red smoke cloud you need to follow, and that's the direction of the cloud. So we can bounce out of this. Quit the mission. So I wanted to show you that. Again, as you might have surmised, this game was produced by Rockstar, which means Dan Houser was involved with the writing and the directing of the FMV and the screenplay. Worth noting that Angel Studios, I want to say they worked on a few Nintendo 64 games. I don't think they worked on Relief Pitcher on the Super Nintendo, and I don't think they worked on Excite by 64. I think that was left field. So I don't remember what Angel did, but they were a somewhat highly regarded studio back in the GameCube era. So I got the money, ranking great. Okay, that's fine. But that's different. We're not gonna worry about that. So we can actually do the missions. And then by the time the GameCube came out, Nintendo was like, okay, we don't have a lot of third-party support now because apparently in the PlayStation era, a bunch of developers left Nintendo and started jumping on board with the Sony PlayStation. And there were so many games on the PlayStation. It was like the Steam of its era. Everything was on the PlayStation 1. Except for, of course, Nintendo games and a couple of exclusives. I mean, the graphics, obviously, in the PlayStation 1 were not that amazing. But the vibe for Nintendo fans was, okay, we got Rare, we got Nintendo, and we still got a few Capcom, and we got Treasure for a couple of games, but we're kind of getting our butts handed to us. So the GameCube comes out, and it's I think it's the most powerful Nintendo console of all time in terms of how much it leapfrogged the competition. Well, let me rephrase that. It was more powerful than the PlayStation 2, definitely. But no one was really on board for developing for it. So you would get a company like Capcom. These cops are coming for me. You would get a company like Capcom that would make games like Beautiful Joe and Killer 7 and what's the other game? PN01, I think it was called. And those games were interesting because they were, whoops. This music is terrible, by the way. So I guess this game's trying to do what Driver did on the PlayStation 1. I think I still own Driver. But this game is kind of trying to do a bit of what that game did, which is give you these big wide open areas and then just dodge the cops. And the AI is wild here. The physics and the AI are wild here. So if you like to Driver, this is supposed to be the vibe. Stay out of the lake. Sounds like a good idea. I can look behind me by pressing down on the D-pad. So be careful of that. Yes, law enforcement detected. Wow. Okay. Yeah, they drove into the water. Amazing. They'll probably make it out. But yeah, you have these wide open areas, so that's fun. We're good. So yeah, the GameCube was a console that was like, okay, it's more powerful than the PlayStation 2, so they were kind of trying to lure the developers back from the PlayStation by promising more powerful hardware. But of course, there was also the Xbox that no one cared about in Japan. It bombed. I think it apparently sold like less than 1 million copies in Japan. So it's probably as much of a bomb over there as the TurboGrafx 16 was here in the United States, as I recall. We'll get to that in a bit, because obviously the PC Engine TurboGrafx 16 was huge in Japan. Number one console in Japan from like 88 to 89, I believe, until the Famicom came out. Rendezvous with a helicopter contact. So we got to hook up with him at the drop zone. Okay. Countermeasures. What the heck is a countermeasure? Forward, corner, corner. What do they mean corner? I guess it means if the super buggy's in front, these guys are in the corners. I don't know. This one's made for flat surfaces. Durability and high hill climbing are poor. Sure. General purpose, so weak climber. Baja truck for off-road use. Better acceleration, top end, speed, and handling. Okay, we can try that later, I guess. I mean, I'm doing fine with the Dumont. This rusty Jackie Chan movie looking Dumont. All these cars look like, yeah, these cars look like they're scrapped. They kept the powertrain, but they just put some scrap metal on the outside. So it gives it kind of a Mad Max feel, which I kind of like, actually. So if you're Nintendo, how do you get back all the developers you lost in the PlayStation 1 era? Well, you create a more powerful console. But arguably, the Nintendo 64 was more powerful than the PlayStation 1, but it was running on cartridges, not on CDs. And depending on what your developers wanted to do, maybe they preferred Sony's third-party arrangements. They negotiate. Apparently, third parties had more freedom with the PlayStation than they did the Nintendo 64. Like basically, if you were a third-party developer and you wanted to make Kusoge, why go with the Nintendo 64 when you can use the PlayStation 1? Where they at? There we go. Okay, so what was it? Like, okay, you had CDs, which were much less expensive to produce. So if you're a publisher, you really liked that. Nice. Okay, so if you're a publisher, you really like CDs as opposed to expensive cartridges. You had to buy those cartridges from Nintendo. So if you had a game to make and you had expensive cartridges, whoops, I think I pressed the wrong button. So if you had why use expensive cartridges? You can just use a CD, which will save you a lot of money, and you get to pocket the difference in price. Yeah, we're going across a railroad track. That's going to be fun. Yeah, this controller is much better than the third-party controller I was using, as far as using the joystick. There's the helicopter. This music is so awful. It's like really terrible trap and bass. It's very much of its era, though. Like really bad Akon music with no lyrics. It's really terrible. It's really terrible. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, the wrong button. I do have a rear view mirror. I just probably should use it every once in a while. I'm doing this right, I hope. Here we go. 1 out of 4. Okay, here we go. Maybe my timing was just off. Whoops. You can barely see that stone wall there. It's like Hadrian's Wall in the middle of the desert. Middle of the scrub. Had to make a handbrake turn. There's a tank over there. I don't know how I should feel about that. Are those cops riding ATVs? Okay, there's a helicopter there, and turn left as soon as we get to the box. They're coming for your boy. Okay, yeah, so I didn't get there in time. Okay. He was worried the cops were going to chase him, I guess. So that's the problem. You got to get there in a hurry. I'm not going to wait for you. R2. All right. Excuse me. That was a bad handbrake turn, but I'll take it. Probably wasn't even necessary. But for people who don't know, the GameCube, whoops! People who don't know, the GameCube was a I think it sold incredibly poorly. I think it sold like what 10 million units, which for a Nintendo handheld, for a Nintendo home console is awful. So you can tell why Nintendo was worried that they were in danger of just giving up the ship because they were obviously they're trying an arms race. like trying to lure developers by creating a more powerful console wasn't working. The DS was obviously doing extremely well. The Game Boy Advance, as I recall, did pretty well. I forget. I have to double check the numbers. But it was one of those things where the arms race just wasn't working for Nintendo. They tried luring developers away from the PlayStation by making a more powerful console. It didn't work. So by the time the Wii came out, you didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money on more expensive hardware. So the joke is that they duct tape two GameCubes together to make a Wii, and it becomes one of the most popular home consoles of all time. The argument being, look, we'll take our investment in the GameCube, double the horsepower or whatever, add these motion controls and make the games more accessible. Because let's be honest, the Nintendo 64 controller wasn't really that comfortable to use. Neither was this GameCube controller. So they move on to the Wii. They start making bowling games and tennis games. I guess we did okay. I'd say they did okay with the Wii, even though I'm not really a fan of the console. There are probably like a dozen games I don't hate. I need to go back. I did not play. In fact, while I'm here, I can pull out a Tatsunoko v Capcom. 'Cause I can't believe I didn't record that yet. So we'll play some Tatsunoko v Capcom later. Oh, we got mates. Okay, so I already chose that one. So we got the Dumont for this one. I don't remember what my mission was. Beat them to the pickups and slam them to take their goods away. Okay. Choose two teammates to help. All right, so maybe a Baja sounds good. Maybe a Dumont to help. So a couple of Bajas and a Dumont. The Dumont can be the sweeper, I suppose. Someone who's fast enough to kind of sweep up any loose goods. Steal loot from nearby drawers before they deliver. Enemy corners may be waiting at your drop off. Yeah. Cornerbacks. Your corners will guard the enemy drop off. So I got a truck and a Dumont. I don't know how I feel about that. And we have a train, which is hilarious. God, this music is so terrible. Okay, 12 minutes to make this work. Yeah, he stole it from me. So it's like Rocket League. They stole the ball from us. We have to swerve a bit. I got it. Did I get it? No, someone stole it back. So someone stole it from me. Yeah, I don't have it. Who's got it? Okay, so I got one. Okay, I don't remember what happened, but okay, so I guess I did get it back. So when the arrow turns to red, it means we got it. Out the way, doofus. I have to steer left and right, I think, to get my car up again, yeah. Okay, the opponent got it. So where'd it go? There it is. Follow the cube. Whoops. Did we steal it back? Yeah, are we the red? Yeah, we're the red. Oh, yeah, the teammate. Yes, okay. So we're up 2-0. Head for the yellow. There it is on the other side of the bridge. Woohoo! It's like Excite Truck. I need to play that in HD. Okay, the opponent got it. I need to play that game in HD. So we'll get some HD footage of Excite Truck a bit later. But I got this Wii hooked up, so I'm gonna see if I can get some Tatsunoko in here. Because y'all need to see some Tatsunoko v Capcom. Whoop! I think one of our teammates got it. Yeah, I think. Wait, who got it? Yeah, we got it. No, yeah, we're red. We're red. We're G.I. Joe. Okay, I got it. So I bumped my colleague. Whoops! Okay, someone stole it from us. So don't let Cobra get it, basically. We're G.I. Joe, they're Cobra. Okay, give me the loot, thanks. Contraband lost. Cobra got it. One of Zartan's doofuses took it. So I got it. Contraband lost. It's like this. It's gonna be like this for a while. Okay, a car just blew up. I got it. So basically, we're playing tag. We're playing tag with cars. Cobra! Get it. I can't protect him. He's too slow. Okay, we got it back. I'll take that. Thank you. Oh, darn it. We got a train we got to avoid. Okay, we're good. Yoink. 3 out of 5. Let's go. Ow, bastard. I do like some of the structure of these missions. So the mission design is kind of amusing. It's not just about driving through corners. Although there are checkpoint races. It has kind of the vibe of an Excite truck. Okay, Cobra got it, and I'll take it back. Thank you very much. Stunticons lose the package. Autobots take it. Okay. Heads up. Got it. Got it. Okay, we're 4-0. Let's go get it. Get that booty. Go for the gold. G.I. Joe picks it up. Now it's time to deliver the mass device or whatever. Well, that's a wall. Avoid the wall. That's never mind. It's a train track. Heads up! Wow, I had to avoid that. And the cornerback gives up the touchdown. Yep, 5-0. Holla at your boy. Yeah, we're pretty good at this game. This game's all right. I probably need to make it harder by not choosing the easiest cars. So it turns out playing this game with a PlayStation 2 controller plugged into a, what do you call this? I don't know who makes this. You can play with either a gamepad or a wheel, huh? Can't imagine playing this with a wheel. Make delivery to the warehouse. Okay. This game seems alright. I remember liking it when I first owned it. But yeah, like Tatsunoko v Capcom is one of the other ones I need to play again, so I'll plug that one in a bit later. That one's gonna take a while to get. This one's gonna take a while to explain. Some of the music's pretty good in that game, so I'll see if I can find a way to get some of the music in there. I'll probably splice it in later. Muramasa, I guess I can get some HD footage of that. Fire Emblem, I'll pull out later. Blastworks takes a while to explain. Bully is on the Wii. I didn't know I bought that game. House of the Dead 1 and 2 is going to be interesting. But yeah, while I got this Wii hooked up, I'll see if I can record some other games. I already recorded the Orochi Saga a while ago, so there is that. Yeah, King of Fighters, the Orochi Saga. I did record some of that earlier. So some games I don't plan on selling. The Wii has some good games, just that I don't know if they were better than the PlayStation 3 versions of the same game. Although in a way, a lot of Wii games were just PlayStation 2 games that were gussied up. Like the SNK collection. Oh, floating rocks? What? Was I supposed to hit the rocks to collect was I supposed to hit the rocks to collect the loot? That was easy. Okay. Is that it? Oh, different car. Okay. So we're forced to use different cars? Okay. I do find it amusing that there are like human beings, running around the area. You can run over the human beings if you want. Whooped him head first. Excuse me. I do have countermeasures. I'm just not using them. Don't know what's going on with the living rocks. Uh-oh, gotta go around. Can I just go? Can I just go through the? I just go through the gates. Screw it. Well, excuse me. I'm not dead. Okay, there is a damage meter on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Bottom right-hand corner of the screen, that green bar, I think, to the top in the top left corner of the map, I believe, is a damage meter. So it's one added. What? Not dead yet. Actually, I think that's just a boost meter. Yeah, I think I have regenerating. I think I have regenerating health because every time I do a hard landing, I think I lose a little meter there. Got it. Turn around. Careful. Okay, I need to regenerate my health. Okay, sorry, there is regenerating health. Okay, the tutorial should have explained that. Thank you. Okay, there it is. There's the red. Okay, they're coming for me. Look out for the mines. Okay, my health is almost completely regenerated, so we're good. My concern about the GameCube is that too many of the games are too expensive. Like, what games am I going to pick up? All-Star Baseball, I think, is probably kind of cheap. Or was it High Heat Baseball, which I think I already have. I think I already have High Heat Baseball on the PS2. I mean, I have like 2 dozen. I think I have like 2 dozen or 3 dozen Wii games. Yeah, 2 dozen Wii games over there. Yeah, I got about maybe 3 dozen Wii games over there. I already did a bunch of videos on Fortune Street. You should watch those. They're tutorials. They still don't help me win, but they help me explain. They help me explain the game to people who don't have a manual lying around, I suppose. That's one thing these videos should be good for, is explaining how the games work when there's no manual around. Like now, actually, I do have a manual for this game. Why read it? Yeah, well. Guess we'll do a truck for this one. Family Game Night 3. How to Train Your Dragon. I think that's just there for the music. Yeah, I got a couple of Mario Party games from family. Mario Party 8 and 9, I believe, are over there. Mario Party, I can't read that. 8 and 9, I believe they are. I did play Mario Party Superstars. Too expensive, but it's a library game, so it might be interesting. It might be an interesting rental. A lot of content on that. I just can't imagine spending more than $10 on a Mario Party game. But yeah, I'm very curious about these Mario Party games because they're stupid expensive. They're like in the $80, $90 range, I believe. Wait, I've missed the item. Can I redo the stage? Restart the mission. Okay, we good? Head for the yellow icon first. Then turn left, I guess. Make a hard left after you pick up the package. Oh, wait. Oh, it's falling loot. Okay, I forgot about that part. We're good. Good. Okay, left. Okay, we got it. Dude's coming up on me. I thought I'd be... Well, I guess he's slightly faster than I am. In a straight line. I'm about to swerve a bit. Out the way. Haha. That also works. He kept me from the destination. Wow. So he kept me from dropping him, which is amusing because I'm like, can't you guys just like pick up the package yourself? It's like, oh, we didn't touch the red bars. I guess we succeeded. Good day, boys. Go for coffee and donuts. Of course, who plays Rockstar games for realism? Okay, 3 more to go. Kind of a tight time window. This could be more difficult than I expected. We good? What he said. You can't hear the M-rated dialogue, and that's probably just as well. Like I said, the audio in this game is not amazing. Yeah, random dude just standing there is gonna get run over by a bunch of cars at 70 miles an hour. Just stand there in the middle of this chaos. No self-preservation. It's a Rockstar game, so self-preservation. Yes, see, that dude got run over. It's a Rockstar game. There's no such thing as self-preservation when it comes to AI, or at least human AI. Grannies are there to get run over and beaten for their money, basically, in a Rockstar game, because it's so edgy. Okay, I wasn't expecting tanks, but here we are. Again, why are there human beings here? They're just gonna get run over. Are these the ambient creatures that I can turn off in the options menu? But yeah, I'm not sure what GameCube games I'm gonna be playing. Depending, it's price dependent, obviously. Like maybe I'll get a Madden game just for funsies, but it's like buying that stuff is like buying a coaster. Like, what's the point? Like, do I even like old Madden games? I know like the modern ones from 2015 on are very good, obviously, but I'm not sure how I feel about some of these. Okay, see if I can swerve. I do have contraband. Yeah, press the X button. So I press the X button for my countermeasures. Bye. Now I gotta lose all the pursuers. How do you do that? That's the hard part. I gotta get all my pursuers outside the yellow circles. That's gonna be a problem. So I got 68 seconds to lose them all. Good luck with that. Well, I think I lost them. Yeah, I lost them. Yeah, they're outside the yellow circle on the mini map there on the bottom right hand corner. No, wait, they came back. How did that one come back? I thought I lost it. Okay, so I did. Okay, so I did lose it. Because I thought I saw someone on my mini map. I'm like, where'd you come from? I thought I lost all my pursuers. All I did was just climb the mountain and they lost interest. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't make more games like this. These games like this could be pretty interesting, I think. Haven't unlocked the second countermeasure on that Sahara yet. Okay, so how we doing? Uh, okay, we're good. So we might do one more mission then end the video. Oh, we got mates for this one. Okay. Yeah, we got mates for this one. So what are we doing here? Free trade thieves. Isn't that what we are? Our goods are scattered all over the countryside. Okay. So yeah, we're thieves too. We just don't want anyone else to steal our crap. That's basically what we're talking about. So we're doing some yeah, we'll have a fast car and a Baja. Sounds good. I'll be controlling a Baja truck. We'll throw in a Dumont for a little bit of speed in case we need it. But we need some durability, so that's why I'm going to use the truck. I figured it was a decent compromise. Backs, we don't have any backs. Try to smash opponents forwards. Corners head to opponent, drop off points to make steals. Forwards pick up and deliver contraband. But I'm using my truck is supposed to be a corner, but I'm using it as a forward. Let's pretend it matters. Forwards, corners, and backs like a diamond. So it's like a diamond in a Rocket League, which would make sense. Yeah, Rocket League is soccer with cars. This is Rocket League. This is I guess this is Rocket League with bombs and mines. There are goals, just no large balls. Okay, they got one from us right off the bat. Wow, it's amazing. That's us. They stole it. Okay, I have to hit them hard. I have to hit them hard to steal it. You gotta hit them hard to steal it. Got it. All right. Ha, you missed. All right. 2 for 2. Okay, we're tied at 2. Who else we got? Have to pay attention to the status in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, by the way. That's ours. Okay, so we got... Oh, so there are multiples going around. Okay. That makes things a bit more interesting. So there are multiple boxes going around, so we can play that way. Okay, Cobra's winning, so we're kind of in trouble. Okay, yeah, you got it all. I should have stole a few. So we're losing. So there are boxes scattered all over the place. You might have to grab some right away and then steal some so you can maintain a lead. So I got that. I don't see any more yellows. Ow! Lost one. Wasn't paying attention to that. Okay, we got that one. Can I get that one? Got one. Okay, I'll take that one. So it's just a spawn point, I guess. It's like a goodie hut. You grab the goodies and you bring it back to your base. Got one. Okay, we did lose one though. Okay, the score is tied at least. What's with the floating rocks? So weird. All right, see if we can make a beeline for the red spot. Remember, we're GI Joe, they're Cobra, so we're red, they're blue. So if Cobra had Zartan's boys, whoa! Now, well, we'll just return this one. Who did GI Joe have? Because Wild Bill was running the helicopter. Rakondo, was that his name? Rakondo? Yeah, he was the jungle specialist. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to grab that one. You all better get him. We are winning though, which is what matters. Okay, someone got it. There's a blue over there we need to grab. Well, hold on, we got a truck. Got a train. I think it's a short train. I think it's a short train. Okay, we're still winning. 2 more to win. It's got a lot easier when I stopped worrying about stealing one. I stopped worrying about stealing them to start just. Whoa! What was that? Hi. Just did a dude just did a Peter Pan off of that dam, off of that hill. Do you think I should probably steal one of these yellow ones instead? There's a red that could be ours. That'll be it. That'll be the game if we get it. That couldn't steal it. I wanted to steal it back. I wanted to steal that one. Boop! I got it. And we got the red. Look at that. We won. We stole it right at the goal. Oh, we need 2 more. Okay, sorry. I thought we needed 10. Oh, well. Because I deserve that. Because I should have been paying attention. So I stole it at the goal. Pretty amazing. We got to pick up here, so we might be able to steal that one. Yeah. Running at him head on isn't a really reliable way to steal this stuff. Did he get 2? Because he stole one of mine. He just got real. Darn it! Ah! Okay, it's a transfer. I'll take it. Or did someone steal it from me? Yeah, someone stole it from me. Give me that blue. Give me. Darn it! I had him. Okay, transfer. Okay, we did it. It's the Manhattan transfer. We got it. Yeah, as long as you didn't break. I think I got it. No, I lost it. I lost it right at the gate. Hold on, I got this. Okay, we got it. 1 more to go. We can steal one or try to go for the yellow. I would steal it. Okay, I don't see any I can steal, so we're gonna go for the yellow. We're gonna win if we can get to the goal. Okay, we lost it, so I'll steal it right here. Thank you. And we lost it again. No, I think he... Wait. No, I got it. Ah, he stole it back. There he is. I was wondering where he went. Let's try to steal this one. Because this is the last one we need. Got it! Alright, heads up. I'm going to try and make it. If we can make it to the goal, we win. Wah! We lost it, of course. I bet he spawned right in at the goal, too. I bet he was guarding it. I knew he was going to show up. Okay, we got it back. I'll take that. Thank you very much. All right, we're headed for the goal. Darn it, we lost it. He was guarding it. He was guarding the goal. Dude probably teleported too. I'll take that. Thank you very much. That was mine. Damage warning. Contraband transfer. I did not want to transfer there. Maybe I need to get my energy back. And we won. So one of my colleagues delivered it. So that's good. I was almost to the finish line, and I transferred it to my colleague by accident. That was all right. This game seems okay. Exotic imports. Okay, so we can end the video here. This is a frame rate test in a way. I want to say this game runs at about 50 frames a second, maybe 60 ideally. So it holds up pretty well in that sense. It looks ugly, sounds terrible, but it's got it where it counts, I would argue. Some of the mission design is kind of interesting. The AI and the physics are kind of wild, so that works. If you want a game like this with similar physics in a racing environment, definitely play Excite Truck. That's one of my favorite Wii games. Like you got these big wide open racetracks with some really wild physics. It's a lot of fun, and you can play it with a Wii mode, and it still works well. So this was my test of the component video input from the Wii using Smuggler's Run Warzones from the GameCube. So I had the option of exporting this to 480p with the progressive video. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm capturing this at 1080p. It's a widescreen 720p capture. I'll compress it. I'll adjust the aspect. I'll fix the aspect ratio so that it's a proper 4:3. But you're still gonna get 60 frames a second because if you're watching this on YouTube, you need 720 vertical lines of resolution to get the 60 frames per second. Um, to get the 60 frames per second. So I'll set that up. So I guess this test went all right. I just gotta see how the final video looks, but it seems fine. I'm recording on my quad-core Celeron Windows 10 laptop, the camera app capturing at 60 frames a second. Again, in a widescreen 720p, which I'll compress later. There's no music that's worth going out on, so we'll just go out on this.